Here are 10 methods to help me save $1,000 a month and will hopefully help you save more too. Putting it into perspective, if you save only $32.25 every single day, that will help you save $1,000 within a month. That sounds pretty doable, right? Also, without saying anything further, to save $1,000 in a month, you first need to be making over $1,000 in a month. Anyways, now that that simple clarification is out of the way, let's get into the top 10 methods. Number 1 is to use an automated savings account. Many major banking accounts can automatically help you save money every week. All you need to do is set up a recurring transfer between your spending and your savings account. This figure could be $250 a week, which will help you save the $1,000 in the month, or it could be just $100 a week and you can save money with the other methods on this list. It's a super simple passive way to save money and you can do it without even lifting a finger. Method number 2 is to round up your spending. Following on from the first method, a major way that I've been able to save so much money is by rounding up my spending. You might be thinking, how does rounding up work? It works as simply as this. Every time I pay for something with my debit card, my bank automatically rounds up the purchase to the nearest dollar. Meaning that if I bought some snacks for $6.17, my bank would automatically save me 83 cents and round up my purchase to $7. While this method isn't going to save you $1,000 a month, it routinely saves me anywhere from $10 to $20 a month, and it's such a passive and easy form of saving money. Savings tip number 3 is to pay using cash for certain things. To save $1,000 a month, you have to eliminate your impulse purchases. A great way around this is by using cash for certain transactions. Let's take grocery shopping for example. Instead of bringing in a debit or a credit card, I'd bring in a set amount of money, like $90. Doing this will stop silly impulse purchases because you have a set amount of cash when you walk in. If you were to use a debit or a credit card, you could really spend however much money you wanted and go overboard with your purchases. I also like the cash method because it's like a tangible product that's a lot harder to let go of. It might sound kind of weird, but I find it a lot harder to part ways with something like this as compared to using a debit or a credit card for purchases. With debit cards, you don't see the money leaving your account, so it's much easier to spend $200 as compared to letting go of two $100 bills. Anyways, use cash when it's reasonable to you, and it will really help to decrease those silly impulse purchases. Savings tip number 4 is to scrap little payments. Little payments can add up to a lot over an extended period of time. It's always the little payments like $2 here and $5 there that don't seem like a lot in the moment, but can really add up over a long period of time. It's like the $4 coffee you buy every day. That costs you $120 a month. Or that $7 sandwich you buy twice a week is costing you $56 a month. Just by cutting out these two expenses, you've been able to save another $175 in the month. You really need to think about your purchases in the bigger picture and how frequently you spend money on little transactions. While you don't have to miss out and go cold turkey, just have these items on fewer occasions, like once or twice a week. Method number 5 is to have a clear goal in mind. This tip is super simple. I just like to have a clear goal in my mind if I want to save $1,000 within the month. This is because you'll be inclined to save for it quicker too. It could be as simple as like, I want to save $1,000 a month for a down payment on a house, or I want to save $1,000 a month for a new car that I'll buy at the end of the year. Having a goal in your mind with a desired outcome will make you a lot more inclined to save for it as compared to saying, I just want to save some extra money each month. Savings tip number 6 is to think of your purchases as hours worked instead of money. This is my favorite savings tip on this list, and I would credit it to saving me thousands of dollars in the past year or two. Anyways, I make an average of $25 an hour. Whenever I buy things, for every single $25 that that item costs, I think of it like an hour. So, a $100 item costs me 4 hours of work, and a $1,000 item costs me 40 hours of work. Anyways, thinking of purchases like this will change your entire mindset around money. No longer will a $12 lunch just cost me $12, it'll cost me 30 minutes of work. This allows me to quickly establish if a product or a service is really worth the time and effort I put into the hours of work. Savings tip number 7 is to track all expenses. If you're serious about saving $1,000 a month, then you need to inspect your spending with a fine-tooth comb. Track every single purchase you make in a month and categorize them into different categories like housing, food, utilities, entertainment, personal, medical, and transportation expenses. It's an easy way to see an overview of your spending habits and will help you change how you spend your money. If you'd like to go a step further, you can also categorize those items into a need or a want category. Needs are necessary and essential for survival, whereas wants are desires and not essential for survival. Examples of needs would be water, food, clothing, and transportation. And some examples of wants are a gym membership, subscription services, holidays, and technology. I'm not saying that all wants are bad, it's just good to evaluate whether or not they're worth spending money on. This method leads on to the next tip, which is to evaluate subscriptions and services. The average American spends over $230 a month on subscription services. That's over $2,500 a year just on these services alone. Streaming services, gym memberships, and subscriptions can all add up to a hefty price tag every single month. A method to combat this is that you should round up all of your subscription services, put them into a spreadsheet, and work out how much they cost compared to how much you use them. For example, let's say that you use Spotify 4 hours a day, you should keep the subscription because you're clearly using it enough compared to the price that it costs. But if you're only watching a streaming service once or twice a month, then it may be time to cancel that subscription. This also leads on to savings tip number 9, which is to change your phone plan. The average phone bill in America is $113 a month or $1,356 a year. My advice is to change your phone plan to a cheaper plan or keep the phone after the plan has ended. My phone plan used to cost me $89 a month, but I've kept this phone for a year and a half past the plan, and now I'm only spending $39 a month. Keeping my phone after the plan had ended is literally saving me $50 a month. Figure out if you truly need that new phone or if your old one is good enough. It probably is. As a society, we always want to keep up with the new trends and the new phones, but is a slight upgrade with a better camera really worth spending thousands of dollars more? I can't answer that for you, but by not keeping up with the new phones, I'm saving an extra $50 a month. The final method on this list is to use cashback apps. Using cashback apps for stores that you already shop at is such an excellent way to save a bit of extra money. Cashback apps give you a percentage back on your purchases made through their links, and these percentages can be anywhere from 1 to 90% off of your total purchase. Doing this won't help you save $1,000 a month, but it could help you save anywhere from like $50 to $100 a month if you're an avid online shopper, kind of like I am. I've also recently made a video about the best cashback apps, and you can watch it here or here, I'm not really sure. But anyways, that wraps up my top 10 tips on how I save $1,000 a month. Experiment with all of these methods to see which ones work best for you, and let me know how it goes in the comments below. Anyways, good luck.